Let's stop trying to define ourselves, please. This is something I have been dealing with lately. I have been on a crisis, on a kind of life crisis. I had a burnout and I had to think about my priorities and rethink how I approached things. And it hasn't been easy. But something I have learned is that it shouldn't be easy. It shouldn't be linear. It shouldn't be like, oh, let me find this book that will change my life and I'll just follow the steps it says and everything will be all right. That's just not how it is. And the sooner we understand that, the better. The more fulfilled we'll be, the more happy. I was reading this book. I have it here. Well, it's very famous, Demian by Hermann Hesse, and I had already read Siddhartha, which I really loved. It's one of my favorite books. And the book talks about the process of finding yourself, basically, in very, very short and synthesized words. But while I read it, it really got to me because in this era of my life, I have been, questioning a lot of things because I was, during these past months, I was very busy and I had a lot of things to work on, and I was, working on my discipline and on being very productive and very focused and all these things, and I got really good at it and I burned out. So I realized, what does this all matter if I'm not happy, if I end up here burned out, if I put all my value in what I do and not who I am, if I'm just trying to, reach for an ideal of what I could be instead of accepting who I am and doing things that make me feel more in tune with myself. And that was a hard pill to swallow because nowadays we are really used to being defined by certain parameters, like what's our work, what do we study, or if we study it, what books do we read, what music do we listen to. And all these things are, you know, kind of grouped into terms like aesthetics and I just read classics and I just read fantasy and I just listen to this type of music. And all these things, no matter how superficial they might seem, they end up defining ourselves in other aspects too. And they limit us at the same time. And yeah, just the message of this video is to stop trying to find a predefined path of how you can be happy, because that doesn't exist. If you think you found one and that it's in a book and it's just, or it's something that you found on a video, it's not real. It's external. You have to define your own path. And I read a quote once. I don't know if I will find it, but if I find it, I'll leave it here. And it said something like, if you're really sure of the path you're in, or the next steps, or how it looks on the future, then it's not the right path, because it has been predefined by someone else. If you're really sure of every step you need to take from now till you're 40, it's not your path, it's someone else's path. And that will affect every decision you make in your life. If you're just trying to be someone else or an ideal, then you are not fully tapping into your potential, into what makes you you. And in this day and age, everyone talks about, oh, AI is going to ruin our jobs and we will lose everything and everything is so bad. But at the end, the reason we are here in this world is to express our own individual gifts to the world and help and build something together, but not trying to be the same person. And if we really took that as our life mission, I think that can really lead us to something beautiful, in which each one of us feels content and happy in their own skin, and we don't have to compete with each other, because we know we're not bringing the same thing to the table. None of us is, because we are all different people. Each one of us has different gifts to bring to the world, and that's the most beautiful thing about community and being human, basically. So yeah, I'd say, and I say that to myself too, we should ask ourselves more questions and really tap into our intuition more. In doing that, we will find maybe not the path, but I mean the full blueprint of the path, but we will know what's the next action we need to take. And that's enough. That's really enough. Just one day at a time. Really. We can try to, guess what we will like in the future, but not be so rigid about it. Letting things unfold how they need to unfold, even if that's not how we expect them to. And enjoying that process too. So, yeah.